Anyway, I think that's enough sunset for today, but just shows this camera is absolutely amazing in HDR.
Now, as you can see, this isn't the GoPro 4 Silver I have been using for quite a few years now. While the GoPro 4 Silver has been an awesome little camera, it is now very outdated. And yes, I did do those animations. It took me around about an hour to do, and it was only like 3 seconds. Yeah. But I might be doing it again. Who knows? Now, I'm not here to try and convince you that the DJI Osmo Action is better than the GoPro 7, because there are 1,000,001 people out there on YouTube that will argue that one is better than the other, etc, etc. I'm going to tell you why I chose the DJI Osmo Action over the GoPro 7. So if you are interested in the DJI Osmo Action, then stick around. I'm not going to go into the technical side of the DJI Osmo Action because, like I said, there's 1,000,001 videos out there explaining everything that you could possibly want to know in depth about this camera. But I'm going to go on about the best bits that I like about this DJI Osmo Action and what I think could truly define my channel, or something like that. Okay, so in this video I put this camera through a few different tests, both on and off the bike, just to see what it could possibly take. And I have to say, I am very, very, very surprised. And as you can see, I am just standing in front of the pier here, and I've got it on rock steady mode, 1080 30 frames per second. Now, throughout this video it will be in a few different settings, but it will stay at 1080 30 frames per second. Now, the reason for that is because I never ever use 4K, and I've never ever had anyone come to me and say that this resolution is rubbish. Now, this is in rock steady mode, and if you don't know what rock steady mode is, well, it pretty much just stabilizes the image, and it does it so well that it actually looks like I'm holding a gimbal. When I was running up the stairs, it had no problem, it didn't shake, there was no jerkiness of the camera, everything was so smooth. And that is exactly what you want, really. You want to capture everything in good quality, and this definitely does that. Now, I do love a good bit of footage when you've got somebody facing away from you and they're just minding their own business, because it's au naturel, and it always makes for some good footage. But right now I'm showing it off in nighttime, and yes, once again, it really does show up really well. Now, of course, with any camera, as it gets darker and darker, the quality of the footage gets a bit more, well, not so great, but it still performs very well. Okay, so here we are on my bike, back on the beast again, and I have to say, it does perform so well. So I've got this set up in HDR mode, and as you can probably tell for yourself, it looks amazing. Now, unfortunately, what this means is that you don't get rock steady mode, which is a bit of a shame, but you do get the added extra wide angle lens, so it's not too bad at all. But it really does show up so well. The picture is so crisp, and as you're about to see, yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, nightmare. So, yeah, pretty much missed the sunset. So this is in HDR anyway. Would have looked amazing if I had actually got in time for the sunset, but didn't get in time for the sunset, so that's what you get. What can I say about this camera? Absolutely amazing. Brilliant camera. As a motovlogging camera, looking back now, would I have chose the GoPro 7 over this one? Yes I would have. For a few reasons. Yeah, I believe the wide angle view on the GoPro 7 is a lot better, whereas this isn't as great if you have the stabilization set on. But at the same time, you've got the external mic that doesn't actually work yet on this camera, whereas it already works on the GoPro 7. So certain things like that. And as a motovlogging camera, it probably isn't the best. But all that being said, as a versatile camera in which you can do both things, such as motovlogging and also vlogging, it's a fantastic camera, and it's a great all-round camera. And that is why I'm happy that I got this camera now, to be honest with you, because I wanted to go down the road of being able to not only do motovlogging, but also do vlogging at the same time. Look at this, gonna have to get over this now. That looks lovely. Oh! But with the HDR setting set on, you don't get it stabilized. So the camera won't be stabilized with the HDR setting on. But at the same time, I don't believe the GoPro 7 has HDR. So it already wins over slightly in that sense, because it just gives you so much more of a better and clearer picture. And I don't know why I didn't just decide to hold my camera rather than hold my helmet as well as my camera, because this thing heavy. That's another thing I noticed about this camera. It is quite a little bit heavier than the GoPro 7. Once again, that's not a bad thing, because you can just feel from the DJI Osmo that it is very good quality. Like the parts that have been used on it, the plastics, very hard wearing, very good. I like the fact that you can change the lens as well, so if that became damaged, it's as easy as just uncap it and then cap a new one on. It's as simple as that. That is what I love about it. Yeah, I'm really glad that I got the DJI Osmo, and if I had the opportunity now to just straight swap it for the GoPro 7, no, I wouldn't do that. No. Look at those views though, guys. How amazing is that? That's another one of my concerns as well. When I got this camera, I was watching so many different kind of reviews on this camera, and I thought, oh, the sound quality of this internal mic is going to be so bad, because I was comparing this camera to the GoPro 7, as you naturally would. But I was pleasantly surprised by how well this microphone picks up sound, and even with wind noise, it picks it up really, really well. So, like I said, pleasantly surprised about that. Now, all in all, this camera and what I got with it costs around about £300. It would have cost $279.99, but I also got an SD card as well. But what I didn't expect to get was an extra battery. Shut up! An extra battery. That's unheard of. GoPro would usually make you pay another 40 quid. Well, maybe not another 40 quid, but quite a bit extra just to get that spare battery. And I got it for free. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, I think that's enough sunset for today, but just shows this camera is absolutely amazing in HDR. Got a cobweb there. If you can see that, then that just shows how good HDR is.